Guys, if you watch anime, then you already know that women are oftentimes portrayed in very strong ways equal to their male counterparts. I mean, let's just think about characters like Urza from Fairy Tail, Asuna from Sword Art Online, even Sakura from Naruto. I'm kidding. Come on now. She's trash. She's trash. Putting that aside, though, women are often portrayed as being very strong in anime. But what you may not have known is that there were real-life badass women that have appeared throughout Japanese history. And that's just what this video is about. With that being said, let's get right on into it. So in the 1100s, Japan erupted into a civil war pitting the Minamoto clan against the Taira clan. And in that war, we find one of, if not the most historical figure in Japanese history when it comes to woman warriors. And that's Tomoe Gozen. She lived during the Kamakura period, and Tomoe was an Onna-musha, a rare woman warrior who engaged in offensive battle. Female samurais were typically called Onna-bugushi. And I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but this isn't my native language. Anyway, Onna-bugushi were defensive female fighters. They typically used the naginata in battle, but Tomoe was different. She specialized with the longsword and bow and arrow. And when I say that she was brutal with it, she was brutal with it. She fought on the Minamoto side of the Japanese Civil War. She rose through the ranks and eventually became the leading commander in the Genpei War by Lord Kiso no Yoshinaka. In 1181, Tomoe put in work at the Battle of Yokotogawara. She defeated and collected the heads of 7 warriors. It's at that battle that she really cements her status as an outstanding warrior on the battlefield, and she starts to gain recognition for it. Fast forward to 1183, at the Battle of Tonomiya, she led over 1,000 men to victory, so she's proving that she can lead men as a woman and do it effectively. Then in 1184, at the Battle of Uchiri, things got dicey. In a fierce battle, the Minamoto side is blown out. Out of over 300 Minamoto warriors, only 5 survived. Tomoe is one of them. But it's not like she actually wanted to be a part of that number. Minamoto no Yoshinaka, Tomoe's master, demanded that she leave the battlefield because he would have been ashamed if she would have died next to him. After this, she goes into the battlefield, challenges the strongest warrior on the opposing side, and destroys him. She beheads him, and it wasn't even close. She then rides off, and the rest is speculation as to what happened with her life. But the point is, Tomoe was somebody you didn't want to mess with, and she proved that women could be hella badass. At first, I thought it was extremely disrespectful that she was denied a warrior's death based off of her gender. And I still do think it is, but some say that it wasn't disrespectful because, first off, she was entrusted to become the leading commander of Yoshinaka's army, and then others say that she was also entrusted to deliver a final message to his wife, which he would only give to somebody he truly trusted. But it's still clear that she was degraded and disrespected because of her gender, especially considering how much emphasis samurais put on death. But remember how Tomoe specialized in the long sword and bow and arrow? Well, that was really uncommon. Most female samurais actually specialized in using the naginata. The naginata is a halberd-like weapon. It really looks like a polearm. This weapon became iconic during the Warring States period. Female samurais also used kaiken, which were daggers. But they weren't used for fighting others. Rather, they were used for jigai, the female version of seppuku, which is, as we all know, suicide. This dagger was used to avoid committing suicide in an ugly way, which would strip the dignity away from these female warriors. So what they do is they take the kaiken and they would cut their jugular veins, trying to die in the most beautiful way possible. Another legendary woman in the battlefield, especially known for her use of the naginata, is Takeko Nakano. This comes about 700 years after Tomoe's time, and yet females are still fighting on the battlefield. In 1868, Japan erupted in yet another civil war, this time between the shogunate and the Western-backed Meiji government. In the region of Aizu, Takeko led female samurais, training them in martial arts. Eventually, battle took place in Aizu during the Boshi War. Takeko led a group of women to form a defensive squadron called the Joshitai. Takeko led the group to the Aizu forces, asked to join up with them to help the fight. The men refused their help at first, but after some argument and the declaration that they'd kill themselves if not allowed to fight, the men agreed to letting them fight alongside them. And Takeko went ham in the battle. She killed at least 5 or 6 soldiers, but eventually she got shot in the chest. When she did get shot, she asked her sister to cut her head off. It was buried under a pine tree at the Hokaiji Temple, and a monument stands there in her honor. To this day, the annual Aizu Autumn Festival takes place, during which young girls take part in it to commemorate the actions of Nakano and her band of warriors. Mind you, this came during the Tokugawa era, a time in which women legally did not exist. They couldn't own property and they had to be subordinate to men in every way. Yet Takeko proved that a woman's spirit and heart could be even more courageous, strong, and successful than any other man on the battlefield. There were probably multiple other women who put in work on the battlefield, yet because history rarely mentions women, we don't really get to hear a lot about them. I guess this video was just to show that women were badass long before anime came. Of course, we all love anime and we love seeing these, females excelling, but can't deny the fact that women were really strong on the battlefield. While Takeko and Tomoe were only 2 examples of what could be many women that were prominent on the battlefield, it goes to show you that women are strong and can be courageous just like men. In fact, even stronger than men. Today, while certain gender traits still exist, such as women being more suited to the housewife work exist, women still find much more equality in society. After World War II, the Japanese Constitution forbade discrimination based on gender. Not that that means it's actually followed 100% of the time. It may never be. But it just goes to show you that women who are already resilient and dealing with a lot of the burdens of life can still be courageous and fight for what they love and for who they love.